Hi, my name is Pete Novom, and I'm the training manager at Okemo Mountain Resort. I'm also a national team member for PSIA and Aussie, and today we want to look at some movement prep activities that will help you keep yourself safe and strong for the season.
Hi, I'm Allison Schneider, registered physical therapist working for workplace physiotherapy clinics in Whistler, BC, Canada. I've worked closely with Whistler Blackcomb Snow School. Because of this, our team has a unique perspective on preventing injuries in your profession. As industrial athletes, you perform under various environmental conditions with great physical load and are required to perform at a high skill level. Just one of these types of demands increases risk of acute or chronic injuries significantly. Anything you can do to mitigate the risk can help the longevity of your career and your health. We suggest doing movement prep on a daily basis. This reason is twofold. To activate your neuromuscular system, we're not trying to stay warm. We're trying to activate groups of muscles before they're asked to work in a high performance situation. The second reason is creating a baseline for daily self-assessment. You need to get comfortable with the repetition of a self-assessment to help prepare and compare day to day. Things you're looking for during this type of self-assessment is hot spots, pain spots. Are they getting new? Are they new, old? Are they getting better, worse? Do you feel any limitations or restrictions in your movement that might affect your performance? Are you fatigued? Are you having difficulty concentrating? All of these things can be assessed when you're doing this movement prep. And especially if you do it every day, back to back, you start building your own baseline. If there is something going on, if you have a concern, then you can use this to inform your supervisor or trainer and adjust your day accordingly. So we've designed these exercises for your movement prep. And if you can perform them on a daily basis, it really helps to create your baseline and warm you up for the day. Before you begin, take note of the conditions of the surface you're standing on. If you have pain or if there's something you shouldn't do and you know you shouldn't do it, please stop. So you can start the day with neck rolls. You're going to go from side to side, one shoulder to the next. Go nice and slow. Check to see how you are with your neck mobility. Then you're going to go into shoulder movements. So rotating forward with your shoulder blades, standing nice and tall, 5 times forward, and then move backwards 5 times. Making sure you're breathing and taking note of how you're feeling. Do big hip circles, swinging your hips forward, then backwards in the same direction 5 times. Making sure you're not feeling any discomfort in your low back or hips, checking for mobility. Don't forget to breathe. You're going to have your hands behind your head. You're going to hip hinge forward, and you're going to rotate from left to right, making sure that you're taking deep breaths, breathing in and out as you're doing this, and just be as long as possible, making sure you're stretching towards the sky.
There's a common thread between athletic stance and the ability to balance and accept load, right? So you can accomplish all of these outcomes with some of this basic position work and strength work and flexibility work.
Next one is steering wheel side flexion. Get into your ski or snowboard stance. Lift hands up in front like you're holding hands on a steering wheel. Alternatively, you can reach your arm overhead and stretch to the side that way. Your hips are going to be bent and your spine should be nice and long. Arcing from the shoulder and making sure you stay long and tall through your spine.
We know lateral balance is important in skiing. This exercise is pretty cool because it ensures that you're warming up the muscles along the spine instead of just preparing to take the load from the spine.
Here we're hip hinging. We're going to have our feet hip width apart. Begin a hip extension squat. Allow upper body to hinge forward slightly, keeping your spine straight. Think about being tall and pressing down through your feet, through your boots. You can go as deep as you like, as long as you don't feel any discomfort or pain and may be restricted by your boots. Here's knees to chest. Start with feet underneath you. Lift your knee up towards your chest. The goal is not to hit your chest, making sure you're pulling through the knee, lifting it straight, and not allowing your back to bend.
We all know that we spend a lot of time standing when we're teaching, right? It's not as athletic as when we ski for ourselves. We're not using our whole range of motion. And that tends to cause the hips to get tighter and tighter. And you both get discomfort, but you also lose range of motion.
Next exercise is heel sweeps. Begin with your feet underneath you. Stand on one leg and have the opposite leg out in front. Sweep your hands down, back to the back of your legs towards your foot. You don't have to reach all the way to your foot. You do not have to touch your heel, making sure you're bending, hip hinging through your hips and keeping your spine long. Next one is reverse lunges with chest opener. Stand hip width apart, step back, reach both arms back behind you, stretching gently through the front of your chest. Relax your neck and don't forget to breathe.
Most of the motion is in the opposite direction of what we often do with skiing, right? Most of our movement is flexion forwards, right? This is going to balance your body out and allow you to stay loose throughout the day.
Next exercise is straight jumps. Please take note of ground underneath you. Obviously adjust for the conditions. You can just do straight jumps. If the conditions are not allowing for actually jumping, you can do just a powerful squat. And if you're doing more high performance skiing or snowboarding, please add the 90-degree and 180-degree turns.
I love that all these exercises are designed to be done in ski boots. Note there's the range of motion is a little different than if you were in your street shoes, right? There's a limited range of motion inside of the ski boot, so the hips have to open and close a bit more. And it means you can do this anywhere. You could do this before you warm up in the locker room if you have a grippy floor. You could do this outside on the snow. You could even do this standing on your skis.
So that's the end of the movement prep exercises. We're asking that you add this to be part of your day. Reflect on where you are at, taking note of any body's restrictions, pain, stiffness, general fatigue, or for lack of a better term, offness. If you feel 100% when you do these exercises at the start of the season, the goal would be to feel 100% with them at the end of the season. Taking action quickly for something small generally is a lot easier than waiting and dealing something that might end up being bigger. Taking action can be adjusting your mentality, talking to your supervisor, adding more recovery. There's a lot of little things you can do when something is small.
A lot of these exercises are different than some stretches that you might do, right? Tell me a little bit about maybe why that's important and why you would categorize these as movement prep rather than just stretches.
The group of muscles that we expect in skiing, that we're not going to reproduce that off of snow in the same way. So we're taking pieces of what those muscle groups are doing in unison and trying to get them to act together. When we ask the body to act before we put it under load, we're going to find out where it's at. It's going to change day to day. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but we want to be aware of it. If we ask our neuromuscular system to activate before we put it under load, I think that there's just a better chance you'll get a higher performance, you'll get more longevity in your, and you'll just create more self-awareness.
It's my observation that also because there's movement involved, it much more closely resembles skiing and riding as a warm up. And you can stretch and you can stand at the dinner table, you can hold on to something, and you can do it in isolation or statically. But the fact that these require balance, range of motion, and some stability, it strengthens and stretches at the same time, and much, much more closely resembles actual skiing and riding in the real world.